Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Dr. Prier, and welcome to my online course orientation for this semester. I will be going over the syllabus in depthly and also giving you just a little bit of information about myself and perhaps some warnings for people who are not quite used to how an online course may work. I definitely want everybody to be successful, and the intent for this orientation video is to give you as much information as possible so that you can be successful and come out of this class with a high grade, and more importantly than a grade, having information that you can apply directly to your career field that will be transferable in whatever aspect or area of kinesiology that you choose to work. So just a little bit of information about me. I am full-time in the health and kinesiology department at Pierce College. I have previous experiences working in K through 12 health and physical education, sports administration. I was an NCAA sports administrator, and also working with a variety of teams in a coaching capacity, including gymnastics, acrobatics, track and field, cross country. I was a multi-sport athlete when I was in school, and I did my undergraduate in health and kinesiology. I also did a master's degree in secondary teacher education with an emphasis in kinesiology, and my PhD is in leadership with a concentration in sports management and administration. I also have a certification from Cornell University in strategic management and executive leadership. I'm an SEL expert, and that is social emotional learning, and I'm working currently on a doctorate in public health at DRPH from Loma Linda University. With all of the experiences that I've had in a variety of kinesiology fields, I do feel that I have a great perspective to give to you guys because I've worked in so many different fields of kin that I can kind of give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of several of them. And that's a lot more helpful sometimes than just a theoretical book knowledge. So I hope that you will learn quite a bit in this class. And I really do aim for everybody to be successful. Sometimes I can be a little bit intense. It's not sometimes. I'm intense most of the time. However, I'm really here for y'all. If you have questions, if you have concerns, do read over the information first in the syllabus, but know that I'm going to be available via office hours for your questions and comments. I do implore you to use my office hours because emails are increasingly massive because of our online situation right now. And sometimes I'll have 200 emails in my box. I guarantee I'm not going to read all the mugs. So please use my office hours. Now I would like to go over the syllabus, and please do follow along with me. If you don't have it pulled up, go ahead and go to Canvas, and on the left-hand portal, about a quarter of the way down, you'll see a link that says syllabus. Go ahead and click on that. My information is there. You'll see a Zoom link underneath my office number, which I never answer. So calling is pretty much a moot point. That's just there for cosmetic purposes. I never answer my phone at work. I'm always on Zoom calls. So use the Zoom link. And if you have a password request, the password is also there. When you come into the Zoom office hours, you don't need an appointment. You just come in and you'll immediately be placed in a queue or a waiting room. I have no idea how long y'all gonna be in there. It's sort of the equivalent to calling a restaurant or a business establishment and they say, hey, welcome to XYZ business, please hold. They put you on hold and you cross your fingers and you hope that you're only gonna be on hold for about 1 minute. It's like that. Usually the hold is between 5 and 10 minutes, but the beginning and the end of the semester are particularly busy for me. Just go ahead and put your headphones in and go about your day. And when your turn is up, you'll pop into the portal. So my office hours are listed there. If it is 2 minutes past when I'm supposed to be on, please do not send me an email because number one, I ain't going to read it. And number two, I might be running a couple minutes behind schedule. Just be patient. As we continue to scroll down, you'll look at the evaluation and requisite assignment descriptions. There are 3 different exams, and the exams are 10% each for a total of 30%. And then the fourth item there is a final. The final can be a test, it can be an assignment or a project. Sometimes I do a research assignment. It just depends. But all the mugs together gonna be worth 40%. So that's not an area that you don't want to study for. You're not gonna be able to do well on the exams if you don't read the material. So keep it, this 40% of y'all's grades, you need to be able to score fairly high on these in order to walk out of the class with an A. You can't get an F on the exams and then walk out with an A in the classroom. So look at these assignment descriptions and their corresponding values, and that way it'll help you plan a little bit better. If you're not a strong test taker, I was never particularly a strong test taker, but you can develop strategies to increase your success rate there because they are worth a sizable portion of your overall grade. And then because I understand people aren't always strong in test taking, I do have some areas to help you score as well and maybe balance that a little bit. We have our discussion posts. Those were 20% of your overall grade, so very significant. And then your quizzes are worth an additional 20% of your grade. I take questions directly from the quizzes and put them on the tests. So if you don't do as well on the exams, it's probably because you also didn't do as well on the quizzes and didn't take the time to look at the information that you got wrong and then study that particular information. Because I do like carbon copies of tests and quizzes. I might pull the entire quiz and put it on the test. So they're literally all repeat questions and people will still fail the second time around. I don't know what to tell you, bruh, because it can't get no easier. So I don't do that all the time, but you definitely will see repeat questions on the exams that you have done on the quizzes as well. And the quizzes are multiple choice, true, false, matching, no written or essay questions. And then your labs are worth an additional 20%. The labs are valuable for this class, y'all, and they take time. The labs are the areas where people try to do it at the last minute and then they realize they don't have the time and they halfway do it. And I could tell a half-ass assignment. They halfway do the assignment, and I'm not about to give you no credit for an assignment that's poorly done, or you only gonna get a couple points. So the labs, I really see people struggling in those areas because they don't realize how much time it takes. And the labs usually take anywhere between 30 minutes to 60 minutes. So don't wait till the last minute because you're not gonna get a good score. As we continue to scroll down, there's additional information about the exams. You need Proctorio, which is a proctoring software to make sure basically that y'all don't cheat. Because no, I don't trust you. I just don't. Folk be cheating on my tests. You need a web camera and you'll have to install the Proctorio extension. And there is a tutorial and an information blog about that in the modules tab, also on the left-hand side in Canvas. And you can't take the exam unless you have Proctorio. When you take your exam, no hats, no sunglasses. I need to see your face just like you can see my face. And nobody else in the frames or no kids. Take it in an area where nobody is going to disturb you, and make sure you have enough time to take the exam in one administration. Do not use your phone. Do not use a tablet. Use a computer or a laptop, because somebody calls you and it disrupts your internet connection. The clock keeps running, y'all. It's just like a regular test. If you get up to do anything, the clock keeps running. So take it in one administration. Don't go feed your little cousin. Don't go say hi to the homies and them. Finish the exam and then go do whatever you have to do, because if you log out, it keeps running. The time keeps running. And also, when the time expires, then the exam submits. All the tests are open book. But if you spend all the time looking up the answers, you'll get all of the questions that you answered correct. But then you'll only finish half of the exam. So 50% is an F. 25 out of 50 questions answered is still an F. So use the book just to kind of triple check if you already are fairly sure, but you just want to be 100% certain. But if you look up all the answers on the exam, you're not going to do a good job because the time is going to expire on you. Have a high-speed and reliable connection. I strongly recommend a landline connection or a plugged-in connection. And then you also need Google Chrome. I understand that y'all like Safari, which sucks ass crack. Don't use Internet Explorer or I'm going to have to kick you out of my class because it's whack. So I understand that you might use DuckDuckGo or Firefox or something else, Opera, but we use Google Chrome. So just go ahead and download that as well and make sure that your computer is compatible. Now we come to the materials needed for the course. I'm using at present the 5th edition of Knudsen and Hoffman, which is Introduction to Kinesiology. And I'm using the 5th edition. If you want to use 3rd edition or the 4th edition, more power to you. I am using the 5th edition. And when the 6th edition comes out, I'll be using the 6th edition. If you choose to use a different edition, that is at your own risk. The book that I'm using will have the ISB number in the syllabus, because I get this question all the time and it's kind of irritating. I put the book that I'm using in the syllabus, the one that I'm using. I understand that you may be a struggling college student and the book is expensive. I get it. I've been a student before, many times over. But I'm not the financial aid office, y'all. You're going to have to work something out. This is called problem solving. Welcome to adulthood. That's the book I'm using. So whichever one you choose to use is at your own risk, but the ISBN number that's in the syllabus is the book that I am using. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because I get a lot of emails to that effect. Late work, no, no, and no, no. Don't turn it in late. I have way too many classes and way too many students and assignments. So don't turn it in late, because I ain't going to take it. There are no prerequisites for this class. And then for our assignment submissions, this is how many submissions I need you to put into the computer. That's 1. I understand that you might have made a mistake. This is how many submissions I will be viewing. I try to mitigate that by not even allowing multiple submissions, but I understand mistakes and stuff happen. If that does happen, I am going to look at the last submission that you put into the portal. So the last one that you put in is the one that I'm grading, because sometimes I have folk putting in like 3, 4, 5 submissions. I guarantee I ain't looking at all of them. I'm looking at the one that you submitted at the last submission. So please just submit it one time and all will be well, because that happens quite a bit too. So what I'm trying to do is just shut down all that and only allow one submission, but I always get folks who say they submitted the wrong file. So we'll see. Let's move down now to the second bullet underneath the assignment submissions, or number 2. So I don't accept assignments via email. This has also been a long-standing issue, and for some reason I have no idea why folks keep on doing it. When I get an assignment via email, the first thing I do is hit the delete button, because I can't grade an assignment in my email box. Plus, it's just not submitted correctly. So just once again, if I pay my American Express bill on the Credit One website, American Express ain't gonna give me credit for that. So part of the assignment is doing it the way that you're supposed to do. Please submit your assignments in the assignment portal. Usually people submit it to me via email because it's late, and which I ain't gonna take anyway. So just do what you're supposed to do. We ain't gonna have no problems, y'all. All the assignments are due at 11:59 on Thursday, and that is to allow me any additional time to perhaps do some problem solving. So whatever week the assignment has been given to you is due on Thursday at 11:59 p.m. That's right before midnight on Friday. All of the timetables are going to be the same. As we move down, I'm looking at number 4, and that is your video submissions. So I do require some videos, and that's going to need a YouTube link. No, do not use an iPhone link or Samsung link, or it's a YouTube link. Okay, so you don't have to create a YouTube account. And if you have Google already, or if you have an Android, you probably already have that. If you ain't got it, then go on and create one. It's free, doesn't cost any money. And then you will submit your video links to me as a YouTube link, not as an attachment, because we don't download attachments to our personal computers. And I also just don't have the space to download everybody's individual video file. Plus there's some issues with malware. It's going to be a link. You need to have a YouTube account for any sort of video submissions. When you submit the link to me, make sure that it's a public link, because if I click on it and then it says this link is private, then I'm going to give you a 0 because I can't view it. I know all the tricks. Okay, I know that you can submit the link and then it's not going to be public, and then you didn't really do it, so you put a new video in. I know all that. Okay, if I can't view it, you're gonna get a 0. And I'm trying to help y'all out. Okay, for the people who sometimes you've been skirting the system, I'm trying to help you out because I did all the scams and I was real good at them. So I work my class in to basically be a safeguard against everything that I would have done because I want you to be successful in life. So please submit the assignments correctly when I ask for them, y'all, because I want you to get a good grade, but I can't do that if you don't follow instructions. Okay, so you need a YouTube link. It has to be an open link, and please do embed it into the submission box. For your files, I'm probably not even going to accept assignments, but because the syllabus at current says I accept a PDF or a doc file, then I need that. Do not submit a text doc or a RFT document. A Microsoft Word. Okay, people always want to do like an alternative version. I put what I wanted in here because that's what I wanted. So don't do what is not there, because if I can't open it, I can't give you any credit. Plus, some of those other text files don't even open up in Canvas anyways, and I ain't downloading your file. So make sure you follow instructions. Moving down, there's just the grade policy, and it tells you how many points the exams are worth. Those point values, to be real, they usually fluctuate. The exam might be 65 points. It doesn't matter. The point value is arbitrary. It's worth 10% of your grade. But I put this in here just for edification purposes. For our attendance and tardy policy, as we move down, just make sure y'all log into the portal, because if you don't log into the portal, I cannot give you attendance credit. And if you don't come, then I have to drop you from the class. This, again, long-standing problem where folk just don't log in and then I drop them. Or you log in before census. If you do that and still didn't do any work, I didn't drop you, and you're going to get an F. So make sure you log in, because then if you happen to be on the border with a grade, then, and I'm noticing that you've never logged in, I'm just going to leave your grade at whatever it is. If you have a 68 or 69% and you barely log in, then you have a 68 or 69%. If you're logging in all the time, you're trying your hardest and you just came up short, I might accidentally find an extra half a percent point for you and put you at 70%. So don't count on it, okay? This is something that is a courtesy that I sometimes offer, and is not guaranteed. So just plan to do well. But the attendance and the professionalism and turning your assignments in on time will all help you if you happen to be on the border for a grade. And I have that flexibility. I might accidentally lose my glasses that day and give you an extra percent, because I want to help you, but I don't want to enable you. Okay? So now moving on to professionalism, be professional. Please do not send me emails talking about, hey, I hit delete. Yo, I hit delete. Sabrina, I hit delete. You call me coach, professor, Dr. Prier, but put a salutation on that, or a title on that, because we want to maintain a professional environment. So I'm going to respect you, but you're also going to respect me. And that way we have that mutual camaraderie between professor and student, and we can move forward from there in a successful manner. So in the classroom, whether it is in the discussion portal or otherwise, please do be respectful. If you have a problem with someone based on gender or race or religion, or the fact that they have curly hair and you like straight hair, or you don't like short dudes, or you only like people that are X, Y, and Z, then you can't be up in my class, or you're going to have to shut that shit up, because I'm not about to have nobody going back and forth in the discussion portals with arguments or with rude comments. Please be respectful and kind. And just be a decent person, y'all. That's it. Just be a decent person, and we will have no problems. If you are being rude or misogynistic or racist or sexist or anything like that, I'm just going to do an administrative drop from the class, because I want everybody to learn in this class and feel like they can come and express their viewpoints without being attacked. So there's like a zero tolerance policy for it. I'm going to drop you, and you can cry about it later to somebody else, but you can go be crying about it not in my class, okay? So don't do it. When you guys are submitting your work, I just need it to be your work, which is why I have Proctorio on there. If it looks like you cheated, you probably did, okay? And if you're gonna cheat, at least do a good job. Make it hard for me to know that you cheated. But if I can easily see that it wasn't your work, I'm gonna have to give you a 0. And then I'm also gonna have to report you to the dean for academic discipline. And it's gonna go on your permanent file, which transfers out. Now, if you're trying to go into Northridge, that program has been impacted for a very long time. And those are the types of things that we look at because I came from the 4-year circuit. And when you have demerits or other items like that on your transcripts, and when the program is impacted, then we're looking for ways to cut the number of people that we can admit because we only have so many spots. So these are the things that can really haunt you later on if you are not being careful now. So do your own work, basically. Be a decent person. Do your own work. Be respectful and kind. The important dates are listed there. Do keep in mind that I don't work on the weekends. If you send me a piece of email on a Friday, depending on what time it is on Friday, yeah, I'm not going to read that until Monday. So these are all long-standing problems that I can't seem to really get rid of. I don't work on the weekends, y'all. They don't pay me that. They do pay me enough, but I don't work on the weekends, okay? I work Monday through Friday during regular business hours. If you send me a communication, I'm happy to help you. It's just I don't work on Saturday and Sunday or at 2 a.m. So don't send repeated emails because it doesn't increase my response time. I'm still not going to read it, okay? I just want y'all to be able to respect my time. And that way I will be in better spirits to help you because you want me to be in a good attitude when I'm grading your work. It goes to your direct benefit. So I don't work on the weekends, okay? But those are the important dates. Moving down underneath important notes as well. All of your grading information is going to be in Canvas. Sometimes I am in the syllabus, small issues here and there, and I generally will tell you what it is. But if I don't, then I can. But almost always you'll be notified if there is a small syllabus change, and it's generally something like my office hours or the days. 48 hours is my general response rate. You're most likely to get me on my office hours. Please, 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 y'all, if it ain't important, and not your emergency is my emergency, I mean an issue of significance, please refrain from sending emails. Just come see me on my office hours because I usually have more than I need anyway. My emails are massively overloaded and it's also a conversation, so we go back and forth. You're going to get me faster on my office hours. So unless it's something really, really important, plus I don't do grade issues anyway via email, unless it's something that has to be documented in writing, please come to my office hours because it'll help me to be able to respond to your issue with more information and with more whatever it is that you need. And it also helped me to keep my inbox not over flooding. I'm looking now at number 12 on the important notes. If you require anything from the special assistance office or is it the DSPSS, then you have to be documented. I can't give you the accommodation. Even if I can see it, I can't give it to you unless it's documented. And I know that their timeframes can be kind of slow. So you have to go over there and handle all that. I don't deal with any of the administrative aspects for that, but I cannot give you an accommodation unless you have a documented disability. I do give you reasonable accommodations for ADA, and that's the Americans with Disabilities Act, but that is reasonable and it's also, in some regards, up to my discretion. I once had a student who was legally blind and she was taking a body conditioning class that required a lot of physical movement, rotation of different stations, equipment usage. I can't accommodate you in a class like that because I also had 49 other people in the course, so I would have to be her guide. That's something where you would need to go to DSPSS and have them give you like a personal aide to be in that class because you could be in the class. I just can't be your personal aide in the class because I have to be fair to everyone. So those are the types of accommodations that aren't reasonable for me to provide. You would need to maybe have someone to come in and be your guide. But the smaller things, if you need extra time, if you need bigger font, if you need me to repeat directions, those are things that we can accommodate via the ADA. Even if you need someone to take notes for you. Let's see. Moving down, there is a statement on the Center for Health Services. We do offer complimentary services for Pierce College students. Sort of, you pay for it through your tuition, but particularly now with the online environment, people are struggling because there's nothing open and they have to stay inside all the time. We offer sessions for mental health. I really do implore y'all to use them because that's an area of health that is sometimes ostracized, especially in certain communities. we offer those services. If you break your leg and go to the doctor, then that's considered acceptable. But if there's something wrong psychologically and you don't go to the doctor, then now you're doing yourself a grave injustice. So go ahead and use those services when needed. And there's information there for special testing and accommodation should you need those services, and you would need to go to the student services building or call them now. But that information is in the syllabus as well. I don't tell anybody who it is who needs an accommodation. If you have a disability, that information is completely confidential, and you can rest assured that it will remain confidential when you are in my stead. I have some information for the religious holidays and athletics extracurricular events, which are really limited now. But if you have a religious need, or if it's a holy day that you need off, then I need time to be able to prepare that and prepare the assignment for you. Usually it's done before you go on the religious holiday. And I already know I'm well versed in Jewish holidays, so don't come up with no BS. Because first of all, I'm a check. Second of all, I already know because I observe the Jewish Sabbath too. I'm not Jewish, but I understand that most of the holy days you don't need the day off from school. So don't come up in here lying, y'all, because I'm gonna check and then I'm gonna be in an attitude because I know that you lied to me. So if there is a specific one that requires your absence, then make sure you get that information to me with enough time so that I can go ahead and prepare. Then we have some additional information for athletics and extracurriculars that requires also some advance notice so that I can do the same thing with as far as the religious accommodations as well. There is information with vital numbers for the library, the Center for Academic Success, Health Department, Sheriff's Department. Use those should you so need them. Okay, it's important that you're able to contact and communicate with different entities to help you. Don't be ashamed. There is no shame in getting tutoring versus failing. There's more shame in failing the class because you didn't get the tutor than it is to go to tutoring. So use the resources that are listed in the syllabus, y'all. When I go over to the assignments modules, or the modules tab, pardon me, you're going to notice that everything is broken down per week. And per week, you are going to have reading assignments, and then will fluctuate between a discussion board, a quiz, and a lab. And then it culminates with a test or an assignment that would be the equivalent of a test at the end of a particular module or unit. So make sure you read the material. I do put some of the PowerPoint slides up, but the PowerPoint slides don't give you all the information that the book does give you. I test off of my lectures, the PowerPoint and the book, and also any supplemental information that may be provided to you in this class. Make sure you read the material. Some of the chapters are short and some of them are a little bit longer, but read the material. When you do your discussion posts, I require references, y'all, and the references need to be formatted appropriately. For MLA, APA, you can use Chicago if you want. A lot of folks that take this class are they're trying to be physical therapists or some other kinesiology profession that requires an advanced degree, and most of the time they make you write an APA. If you choose to use MLA, more power to you. But the references need to be appropriately formatted and integrated into your discussion board text, and a full reference at the bottom. People get thrown off on points all the time because they just type whatever they want, and your opinion is great, but it needs to be substantiated with some peer-reviewed, credible references, not Reddit or YouTube or whatever it is. Credible, peer-reviewed scholarly references or journal articles, newspaper clippings, things like that. So put that into your discussion board posts, and then make sure you respond appropriately. Don't cut it short. I have all the directions in the posts, but these are where people lose points because they just type, they pay no attention to what I asked them to do. And then when they get half credit, they get an attitude with me. Like, I didn't force you to not read the material. I told you what I want you to do, and you didn't do it, and I graded you appropriately. So a lot of points can be saved just by following the instructions, y'all. So please follow the instructions. Respond to your peers. For the quizzes, it's open book and there is no proctoral requirement, but it is timed. And then for the labs, you will have a submission box that you can put your assignment in. Make sure that it's clean. Make sure that the assignment actually gets submitted, because I'll oftentimes have people who will hit submit, but they won't wait for the assignment to load. And then there's nothing for me to evaluate when it comes time for grading purposes. Okay. So each week you'll have an assignment, you'll have a reading assignment, you'll have a lab, a quiz, or a discussion board, and then sometimes there'll be a video lecture. The video lectures are done in 15-minute increments, mostly 15-minute increments. And that's just to make it a little bit more feasible for you. Maybe you can plug it into your car if you have a long drive and listen. I do have the PowerPoints that I follow along with those as well. But once again, the PowerPoints, if you just look at those, you're not going to do as well in the exam. So please make sure that you go through all of the aspects for the corresponding week's unit or module, and we shouldn't have any problems. I think that's all I have for y'all. I hope this has been informative. I truly do hope that everyone walks out of this class with the information that will have you be a successful kinesiology professional in whichever field that you choose to work in. But do know that the class intersects religion and socioeconomic status and sex and a variety of different areas that are just, kinesiology is an interdisciplinary field, really. So we're going to cover all of the careers, or a vast majority of them, whether you want to be a PE teacher or a coach, strength and conditioning expert, professor, physical therapist. There are a lot of different careers. Respiratory specialists, if you're working with exercise specializations. So I want y'all to be successful, but you do have to put in the time and the effort. I'm going to help you. I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that you come out of this class with the information that you need in order to be a well-learned professional. But you do have to put in the effort. Don't expect a free ride, but do expect your effort to be reflected in your grade. Okay? Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you during office hours if you choose to log in. Take it easy, and God bless.